Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing another pond video in my summer pond care video series. The last video, I taught you guys how to monitor the pH of your pond. Well, in this video, we are going to talk about the pond itself and what we actually build the pond out of. There's going to be a few things that come to mind that you could build a pond out of. And we have to make sure we choose the right things, or else you're going to have trouble with your pond. So why don't we get started and talk about what a pond should be built out of, made out of, constructed with, however you want to say it. Okay, so looking down at the pond here, one of the first ingredients you think would be the best thing to use to build a pond with would be cement. Some sort of mortar, that sort of thing, concrete. Well, although that's the first thing that probably comes to your mind, it is the absolute last thing you want to build a pond with. Cement is going to affect the pH of your pond. If your pond has a high pH, which cement will do, you are going to have problems with algae. You're going to have sick fish. Although fish can take somewhat of a high pH, they can't take the pH of a freshly made pond made of cement. Now you're going to go, I've seen ponds made of cement. I've seen them all over the place. And unless you can find a neutral pH cement, which I haven't been able to do locally, the cement is definitely not your answer for pH, or for pH reasons. It is going to be a nightmare. It's going to cause string algae to grow. If you have algae problems, you're not going to be able to control them. If you have pH problems, you're not going to be able to control them. Just due to what the cement is made out of, cement ponds are a bad idea. And again, you're going to go, well, I've seen cement ponds before, and you probably have. And you know what? The best looking ones are like 50 or 100 years old because it's had time to leach out all the lime and everything that's causing a high pH in your pond. So a simple way to test your ingredients that you're going to be using to make a pond with is to use some sort of aquarium pH down. All right, so this is my aquarium pH down. And if we look down here, you focus on the cement, and I'm going to spill a little bit on it. Let's zoom in a little bit. Can you guys guess what's going to happen? And this is going to be the test that you need to do to determine whether something can go in your pond or not. Remember this test, okay? See all the foam? See how it bubbles and fizzes and foams up? That is because it is very, very alkaline. And it's going to react with your water, and it's going to be a constant battle for the life of the pond to keep your pH down. No matter how much pH down you use, it's just going to refizz. It's just going to go back up. So, you cannot use cement for your pond. Make sure anything that reacts with a pH down solution doesn't go in your pond. I'm going to move you over slightly, right by the turtle in my little water bowl here, and you can see alum blocks. Again, alum blocks, they are made of cement. I'm going to do this a little bit more delicately because I don't want too much spilling on the alum blocks. See how it bubbles there? Hopefully you can see that. It's bubbling away. So that means you cannot put this in your pond. And you're looking at my pond going, it's in your pond. And I'm looking at it going, it's actually not in my pond. It's actually right beside my pond. No cement touches my pond whatsoever. No rocks like you've seen in the previous shot touch my pond. Nothing with a pH that's other than neutral touches my pond. So all the rocks in the cement work, none of that actually touches. I do have a liner. You can see the black liner that kind of goes around like this. And we'll talk about the liner soon. Okay, the turtle hit the water and he's swimming around now. The next thing you're going to think of for building a pond are the little preformed ponds. And I'll put a picture of one on the screen right now while we talk. So a preformed pond, there's going to be nothing wrong with a preformed pond at all, other than A, the price. They're going to be very expensive. It's a very, very expensive option for you. And B, the size. They're very, very small. Even the biggest preformed pond is really only about 180 gallons. So 180 gallons is not very much at all. In front of you right now, it's 4,000 gallons. So A preformed pond would be good for a little garden, something that you don't need much space for. But you know what's difficult with a preformed pond? They're very shallow and they're very hard to hide. And when you're digging in a preformed pond, you have to dig your hole exactly to fit the preformed pond, like a mirror image of it. You gotta have the right depths, and you gotta have the right dirt on the shelves, and it's actually very hard to dig a preformed pond. So, although they would work, for the amount of money you're gonna spend on a preformed pond, we should talk about pond liner. So that's what we're gonna work with next. And that's what my pond is made out of, is pond liner. So it's hard to see it. I've done my best to work it into the banks. So you can see there's some pond liner along the edge. And why don't we move over and I'm going to show you a piece of pond liner. Okay, so this is a scrap of pond liner. This is EDPM 45 mil pond liner. It's made by Firestone. It is extremely tough. Made of the same thing that tires are made out of. It's completely inert. It doesn't react to any kind of pH downs, or it's not gonna, it's neutral. It's a neutral pH, so it won't affect your water quality. It has a 20-year warranty on it. It's much cheaper than buying a preformed pond, which I said is also acceptable. Probably by about half or a third the price of a preformed pond. It comes in many different lengths of many different size rolls. It comes in 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 feet plus wide. Plus the roll is 50 to 100 feet long. So you could technically buy a 20 by 100 piece of this and make a very big pond out of it. All one piece, no joins. So with these guys, make sure you dig your hole first. Then you lay a rope down into your widest and longest points of your pond. Mark the rope, lay it along the contours, mark the rope, then pull it tight on your lawn or your yard beside it. Then measure what you're going to need in both directions for the width and the length, and then make sure you overdo it by about 1.5 feet to 2 feet on every side in case you miscalculate. And as you're filling it up, the water can pull it one direction more than the other as well. So you don't want an exact fit, you want bigger than you need, but even buying bigger than you need is still going to be cheaper than buying a preformed little pond of equivalent size. So yes, it's great. It comes in one size thicker, which is a 60 mil size. I don't use 60 mil. This is a 20 mil. It is pretty puncture proof. You could put a nail through it if you wanted to, but likely dog claws and deer hoofs would not puncture this. And as long as it's installed correctly, it does have a 20-year warranty on it. So as for installing it correctly, make sure after you dig your pond, you're going to want to put a layer of sand down, maybe some old carpet, stuff that's not going to break down. Can't use newspaper or something like that to cushion it because the newspaper is going to break down. And I'm going to give us a better view again. Let's look at this over here because that's what pond liner looks like. Chugga, 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 chugga. And we're back to a better view of the pond. So yes, that's what pond liner is like. Now you can buy thinner, cheaper pond liner. It's not made of the same rubber. It's a 20 mil and it's going to look much cheaper and much more easy on the pocketbook. Don't be fooled by the cheaper stuff. It's just a poly liner and it will break down after just a few years and you're going to end up with holes in your pond. So my recommendation is EDPM pond liner, 45 mil. You should be able to find that at your local garden centers or places that carry pond supplies. You can buy it in pre-cut sheets or off the roll, and it's usually sold in a linear foot sort of thing. But yeah, that is what I use. Not cement because it affects your pond. Not preformed ponds because they're just too tiny. But 45 mil pond liner, and it works fantastic. You can also use the scraps for making your stream. But that is for another video. So I hope you like this video on what you should and shouldn't use for making your pond as for liners. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching.